Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dice Dorks and Danger, where we dorks like to play with our dice, and sometimes, just sometimes, we get into some danger. Alrighty, smidgen of a recap, not too awful much. Ifin, you want to watch the previous video, we still have it in the Twitch VOD, and then we also have it uploaded to the YouTubes all the way from the very beginning of this wonderful chaos. So if you want to catch any episode, just check out the YouTube. Also, as a smidgen note, have been thinking about maybe putting this to an audio format. Don't quote me on that though. Anyways, last game session essentially came down to the Dice Dorks meeting with Mojo the Hutt, a hut that wanted information from the Empire because he is afraid that the Empire will be moving in on his spice racket of the Jazini, what's like so Jasani. I can't remember how to pronounce it. The Jasani plant, which provides them with a very unique spice that Mojo has been able to capitalize on. So the Dice Dorks said, "Yep, we'll take the job." Despite the fact that before they spoke to Mojo the Hutt, they came in through hyperspace to meet a Imperial light freighter that basically was like, "Hey, yo, we need to know why you're wanting to be here," giving the impression that things aren't completely on the up and up, that something may be going down, but they had no context. So let us do character introductions. Chrono, you go ahead and introduce yourself and your player character, please.
Hello, I am Chrono. I am playing Richard, the captain of the DP-28. And let's hope I don't make any dumb decisions this time around.
We'll see. There are no guarantees. We're doing this live. So, yeah. All right.
Ah, the magic of editing.
Not here. I pretty much just cut out the beginning, the middle, and if there's anything in the end, I let it all out. All right. Then we're gonna drop down to Zobras, Dead Man Bones. Go ahead, enter. Good God, it's gonna be one of the night people. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your player or character.
Uh, I'll do it the other way around. Hi,
Okay.
I'm Zobras, and I'm being represented by Dead Man Bones. Hopefully, she can get over her mind right now.
Yeah. Past couple episodes, she's pretty much been locked in her little room in the crew quarters, just you know,
Having many an episode.
having many of an episode. So she's pretty much just been sulking, doing teenager type things. So we'll see. We'll see exactly what is going to come down turnpike here. Alrighty then. So we are going to go over to Gellius. Introduce yourself and your character.
Elias, and I will be playing Crown tonight, and should be an interesting night.
How so?
Because I don't know what's going to happen. I just know things are going to happen.
Oh well, of course. I guarantee you that things are going to happen. But I too, like you, very rarely know what the crap I'm doing, so I don't know what's going on. Kanza. I had to look over to make sure that your thing wasn't muted. All right. Arena Flare. Arena Flare. Go ahead and introduce yourself and Kanza, if you'd be so kind.
Hello, I am Arena Flare, also known as your chat moderator here. I try to keep an eye on things, but yeah, I'll be playing Kanza Ren, who apparently does not get along with a couple of people on a ship already.
I
It's
wouldn't necessarily a couple people. One,
No
Yumi.
one.
Yeah, Yumi. Yumi seems to be mega bitch. The kid's like, yeah, like he hasn't really shown any negative anything towards you. I mean, he's just kind of like, hey, how you doing?
Kind of indifferent with the kid right now, but
Yeah.
yeah, kind of getting there.
I understand. Alrighty. So we are going to be jumping to Richard and Zoe. And as a refresher course, Zoe, a few game sessions back, made a very not smart call that could have potentially cost people lives with a new fancy toy that she had purchased. she has been pretty much stuck in her room, pouting and beating herself up mentally, and that's been in game a few days to a week, something like that. So she's literally just isolated herself. But I won't explain anymore. I will let the players carry on. So, gentlemen, play your characters.
All right, so I will walk up to the crew quarters and knock on the door.
Come, come in.
Oh my God, she's dying.
So
You
I'll go
say that.
ahead.
Or
and-
worse.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, open the door, walk in. Are you feeling okay?
You look at Zoe immediately. I'm not even going to give it a roll. It's obvious she has not been sleeping. Possibly not even eating.
So, I'm glad that you're taking the situation seriously, but you still need to take care of yourself.
I understand, sir.
You can drop the sir. We don't do that around here.
Yes, Richard.
So, what have you learned from this whole situation?
I've learned that if for any reasoning you are not to hit the big red button of panic, overcome it, take a second, think. Don't panic in a situation. I did something stupid that I knew that was stupid the second I did it.
So, it's not just panic. You also need to take into consideration the people around you.
True.
Whether they're saying something, doing something.
Also true.
You seem like you're taking it hard enough. Get cleaned up. We have a job.
Job, sir? I'm sorry, Richard? What's the job?
We're going to get some information from some Imperials.
I'm sorry. Sorry. What?
We are going to an Imperial base. We are going to gather some information and then try to get out.
And how does Jada feel about this?
She's not happy, but she understands.
I'm slightly terrified of what could go wrong. I'm psychotic, not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm all right. And that's a Mandalorian admitting that. All right, I'll go get cleaned up, sir.
Yep. And I'm going to walk out.
Zoe puts her helmet back on and walks to the wash quarters.
Refresher is what they're referred to as. So yeah, you're gonna go ahead, go do your cleaning and all that other kind of fun stuff.
And actually eat something. I would say as far as the not eating and sleeping thing, I don't think he would have gone to the point where it would
No,
have been a penalty there.
no. I kind of figured when you said that you're just you're bird eating, just a little here, a little there, sleeping but waking up, and just kind of restless, more or less. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna push it to that degree. All right. So, Kanza, we will go with you real quick. Was there anything that you wanted to do, say, or whatever?
Um, Nothing necessarily. Just gonna be hanging out in like common quarters. Um, if I see Zoe walk by, just essentially look over and be like, "Oh, so there is a kid here."
So,
Do you say that out?
hold on. So, it won't be Zoe that walks by. it will in fact be Yumi who looks over at you, nods her head in kind of a half-hearted bow, walks over to basically the kitchenette area that they have, and begins cooking.
Hmm. So essentially, Kanza will just a slight nod back. It's like, I understand you're here.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. It's common space.
Right.
And essentially just look around the room, try to distract herself.
Oh yeah. Um, for a while now, sometime after since Richard and the others went and spoke with Mojo, um, she hasn't really spoke to you. Anytime she sees you, she doesn't like look or turn or run the other way, but she doesn't even look at you aggressively. She's just kind of keeps her mouth shut, nods her head, and just kind of rolls on. You don't know if something was said to her or if she's just dislikes you that much that she doesn't even feel to give you the time of day. It's kind of up in the air. But you have noticed, like I said, for a while, for a few hours at least, she's been kind of not standoffish, just quiet, reserved.
Okay.
All right.
After a moment of silence, just kind of quietly, but still loud enough for her to
Ow.
pick up. It's like, I had nothing to do with all that, right?
There'll be a moment, pause, and then she will look over as she's kind of finishing up making a meal, which looks like a meal for two. And she says, I'm sorry, were you speaking to me?
There's no one else in here right now.
She looks around and then I'm sorry. She says, I was preparing food for myself and young Master Zagar. I was focused, she says. What were you saying?
I was just saying, like, what happened was a long time ago, and I don't have all the details of it.
She
Like, I just know
will
there's been trouble.
she will kind of, while she's looking at you while you say that, she will turn back and continue cooking, and you will hear her say, no, I suppose it is nothing directly connected to you. She says, however, she says, I have lived a very long time. She says, and I have seen, and then she looks back and she says, no offense, but what your kind is capable of. And it still can be upsetting, she says.
Is the Akosix droid projecting?
She's not in droid form right now. She hid her appearance, so she actually looks like she's just a standard human.
No, I mean emotionally projecting.
I don't know. Are you reading it that way?
Perhaps.
That's what it sounds like, at least.
Just a little bit. It sounds like a little bit. And she's just gonna look back, and it's like, and I've heard stories of what you and your people are capable of. I just have no firsthand account.
She nods her head and she says, this is understandable, but even a few years back, she says, the Akoziks have had problems with the TLZs. Maybe not you and your specific clan or whatever tribe that you direct yourself to. She says, but they have still been a seemingly active thorn in our people's sides.
I will say my people are very stubborn in their ways, for sure.
She will finish, put the food that she had prepared onto a plate. She'll kind of like wipe the dishes down as she's talking and things like that with you. And then she will take the two plates of food and she will walk over and she will say, perhaps that's something that our both of our people have in common, she says, as she's going to place one of the plates of food down. She says, "Mm, I'm not as hungry as I thought I was," she says. And then she will walk off in the direction to the secondary quarters, the guest cabins.
Hamza's just gonna look at the plate speechless, like, did this thing that flipped me actually just give me food?
A peace offering? What? No.
Never.
It would never happen. Okay. So as Cons is looking at the food, possibly thinking, did she know she was going to do this and did she poison it?
Kind of.
I've played with you long enough. I know better. All right. We're going to jump to Crom, who is tinkering still with the protocol droid head. Crom,
Yes.
go ahead and give me a technical droid program repair.
All right, give me a minute. I gotta look at what my dice was for that again.
Yep.
Technical droid program. Did you want program or did you want repair?
Repair. I forget sometimes like computers, it's computers program repair, and so it screws my head up. So
Because I have both.
it's well, I'll tell you what. You've come this far. Go ahead and make it a programming check.
Okay. Because
Does-
either way, it's still 3 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Well-
old man actually found the droid head?
Oh yeah, he's been
Nice.
working on it. So I
been-
see. Yeah, I see that maybe you've done your repair checks and things and you feel it's good enough. So just a little bit of programming and maybe try to switch it on afterwards. Let's see what you got.
Let's see what happens. Well,
And
yeah,
the
I'm gonna
droid
tell
head
you right
explodes.
now, it ain't gonna be good.
The droid head explodes. No, I'm taking that's a 1 on the wall.
no.
It's a
I got
hell
a
of a programming
I got a
error.
1 on everything else though. I got a 5.
Okay. So as you're kind
No,
of
I'm
going,
sorry, I got a 6. Sorry.
oh, you're fine. So as you're kind of going and trying to basically upload the personality in the program, you believe that you have everything done properly, enough that you could now basically unplug it from the computer that you basically were working on the program for the personality of the droid head, to basically switch it on now to see what happens.
Well, I guess I'll just flip on the switch and see what happens.
And it explodes. No, I was kidding.
Just takes out the entire ship.
Boom! Thanks for watching, everybody. All right. The no, you flip on. There's like a switch, like the base of the skull, and it's kind of underneath. So you're able to kind of take a claw, put it underneath there, and click it on, and the eyes will blink to life. And if you recall, the noises C-3PO made in The Empire Strikes Back, where he kind of did a where like his speech patterns, I guess, were trying to catch up, or he was kind of maybe doing some kind of weird, funky thing. So it is doing this, and it is not normal. As it is doing this, and you're going, oh well, crap, you're going to notice that the eyes will begin to kind of blink, and then they will blink sporadically separately. And then there will be a bright flash, bright enough that as you're kind of holding onto the head, you'll kind of drop it, and it will tumble to the ground, kind of spin around, and like lay kind of catty corner facing somewhat to the ceiling. Give me a perception spot check.
Spot. All right. Well, ain't gonna be good, but I'll give you one. Well, that's a 3.
Okay. So before you kind of bend down to pick the droid head up, you start looking up, and it actually kind of almost looks like the eye, or I shouldn't say the eye, the head, the direction it's looking, actually looks like there's some kind of a schematic. And then just as you kind of look up, it's kind of like that thing out of the corner of your eye. The second you look up, it's gone. And you actually hear the droid head at that moment go, and you look down and the droid head's powered down.
I'm gonna pick up the droid head, look at it and go, what is in your head?
Zombie. I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I was thinking it too,
Yeah.
Scotty.
All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to screen swipe and we are going to be back into the Imperial Star Destroyer as Vice Admiral Reynolds will be looking at a data tablet with one hand, obviously using the other one to kind of scroll through and things that, and there'll be like an ensign standing right there at attention, kind of nervously looking around. Obviously being an ensign, they're very new to the Empire. They kind of have training and things that, but this is basically first field op. And she will say, I hate to call off the search, she says, but we've turned nothing up and we've practically turned the planet inside out. We've checked every ship. And then she will power down the data pad and then she will hand it over to the ensign. And then she will look at the ensign and she will say, send a message to all units to belay the search, return to standard formation, increase security, and await further orders. They could be, this one person could be several people, and there could be a trap somehow, some way. The ensign,
It's a trap.
it's a trap. She will nod her head and she'll say, yes, ma'am. Or excuse me, yes, sir. And then she'll run off. Then it will kind of follow, the camera will kind of follow her to where she will basically leave the bridge and go to kind of like the captain's quarters kind of thing, where she is posted up, and she will sit down, and there will be 3 desks that are basically in this quote unquote captain's quarters. She will sit down, presumably at her desk, and then she will key something in, and it'll basically kind of be like a call going out. So you kind of, I think they have kind of a call sound. I'm not sure. I've always kind of imagined it's basically like our phones were like, brrr. After a few moments, a holo projector will come to life, and there'll be a rotund man standing there. With it being a holo projector, he's kind of slightly transparent, pretty much a shade of blue. Looks like he's kind of got like this almost handlebar mustache, and he's not in uniform, but he kind of looks like he's, lounging about or doing whatever, just kind of in casual clothes. And he will say, "Oh, what do you want, Reynolds?" And she'll say, "Sir, I've just wanted to call and to inform you that we were unable to find the rebel or the rebel cell." "Oh, that is so unfortunate. Well, there's not much else you can do. I imagine you have everything well in hand." "Sir, yes, I do. However," and the gentleman will kind of give like this weird look, and he'll say, "I don't like the sound of this." And she'll say, "Sir, I'm very well aware that you do not like being this far out, but the Empire has given you a task, and locking yourself away in your room is slightly demoralizing to everyone on the Star Destroyer and everyone else. Might I suggest that you clean up some?" "Oh, maybe not." And you hear this kind of voice behind saying, "Lasky, where are you?" "Oh, coming, dear, coming." uh, Vice Admiral Reynolds. And she just kind of nods her head and says, "Admiral Lask." tomorrow, he says, tomorrow, I will leave my temporary sabbatical and resume some charge. As fortuitous as this may be, I did receive communications stating that we were supposed to be receiving a guest straight from the Emperor himself. And Reynolds will nod her head and she'll say, yes, sir, I had received this message too. That's kind of why I called. He is supposed to be some kind of expert on Jedi lore and artifacts, he says. I don't know why the Emperor's sending him out here, but it is what it is, Lask says. And then she will say, yes, sir. To which basically he's just going to kind of say his goodbyes and all that other kind of fun stuff. And then she will lean back in her chair and then kind of put a thumb to part of her chin and gets this kind of thoughtful pose. And she's like, oh, this cannot be good. This cannot be good. And then we will screen swipe back to the crew of the DP-28 as they are exiting the ship to go do what they need to and everything else. Yumi and Zagar will actually tell Richard. Well, they will walk up to Richard. Zagar is going to say that we'll be back. Yumi wanted to kind of go do some shopping, and you said there'd be like a few days or something like that. So I figured we just didn't need to wait around. So we're just gonna bounce. We'll be back, but we're just gonna kind of go look around. So, and they will just wander off, basically. Before you can even hit the door, you will hear Bipto scream, Richard!
I just get this look on my face like, uh-oh.
So
You want me to get that?
Bipto charges out. And remember, he's kind of like 4 foot. So he charges out and things that, and just basically puts a pointy finger right to your chest. Boop! Pokes up, and he's like, you have almost gotten me in too much trouble. A bounty hunter came here looking for you.
Got a name, sir?
Can I ask who?
So you both, I imagine, in unison will be like, you have a name, sir? Can I ask who? He says that, I didn't even need to ask for a name. He says, I've known him around here. He works for the Black Sun. Zyrtec Loath.
Oh, no. Can I roll on that name?
Yes, you may roll a streetwise knowledge.
Let me make
You know
sure.
what? I will as well.
Sure, Crom. Would you like to do this as well?
Come on.
Need to be less.
It would help if I was on roll 20.
Yeah. Need to be less jabby with my arm. For those of you watching, I got kind of a kink in the neck, and that kind of hurt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-oh. What's wow?
6. 1 on the wild.
Okay, let's
I got
see.
a 9.
Okay. Crom, were you muted?
Yes, I am muted.
Okay.
That's normal. So I don't.
So
It's not a stream if I don't unmute myself at least once.
that's
I was
right.
hoping Zoe's background of bounty hunting would have helped, but not with that.
We will cover everything. So, Crom, did you want to make the check?
I rolled a 7.
Okay. We're gonna say Kanza, since she's newer here and things, that definitely won't have any information on this. But I'm going to actually take everybody's number and combine them to basically kind of get a collective thing. He is not super well known like Boba Fett, but it is very well known that he is a Mandalorian that has picked up bounty hunting as a career sometime after basically what's sometimes referred to as the fall of Mandalore, or the acquisition of Mandalore, where the Empire and Mandalore basically kind of started working together. He was very against it, so he sought out on his own, or went out on his own to basically just do his own thing. He has done several jobs. Some of the jobs you recall were very gruesomely handled. He isn't extremely, what's the word, precise. So it's not like he's got a record of catching everyone that he can get. He has made mistakes. He has, come and gone and things but he actually ended up joining the Black Sun, where his name kind of got elevated faster. And he works basically kind of like a bounty hunter and armed thug for them. So collectively, this is what you guys are going to put all out on the table.
So is that like all him, or is he partially riding coattails?
It's a bit of both. He kind of is riding the coattails of being Black Sun oriented, but before even joining the Black Sun, he kind of had a reputation for being a nasty bounty hunter. That he predominantly is in the Outer Rim territories. Very rarely does he go anywhere else.
Well, this ain't good, boss.
So, is there a question, Bipto?
There is no question. And he's gonna keep poking at your chest and things, and he goes, "You have no idea." He's like, the trouble this can put us both in. You need to fix this. I don't know how, but you need to fix it, and you need to fix it quick.
Mr. Bipto, he works for the Black Sun.
I don't care who he works for. I don't want bounty hunters nosing around on my company.
I'm gonna just step forward in front of between him and Bipto, just kind of kneel down to his height and say, screaming isn't gonna solve it, and you're gonna draw attention.
It's my company, and it makes me feel better.
I put a Wookiee finger and say, lower your voice. I am not in the mood for your crap, Bipto. Lower it.
Yeah. Despite the height difference, Bipto is an older Altarian, and he's not backing down out of fear. But you can tell that, like, this is not the first time you guys have kind of butted heads a little bit. But he just kind of throws a hand up, and he's like, "Oh," he says, "Just fix it, and he walks off.
Game Master, I've got a question for you.
Sure.
I'm assuming that if there was a case, Jada would have gotten rid of it. But what do you think would be the chances that Bipto would have had some sort of remote something in all of his dinner plates?
Oh, there probably still is something like, because basically the way it works, short version is that your ship can be tracked and traced. All your identification is with the transponder code. The transponder code is embedded into all the engines. So even if you guys turned around and got rid of the old engines, got new engines, you basically would have, and kind of sort of by the contract, it still has to be dinner plate 28 because you're working for Bipto. As an identifier. So he knows basically where to get you, how to find you, and things and it's not a tracking device like you may be thinking. But yeah, you can easily be identified, and he can kind of he has enough knowledge that he can kind of track you around.
So it's basically an IFF. It's not you're low jacked. It's
right.
And I can just make you dead in the water with a press of a button type deal. It's more like I know your general location.
Yeah. He can't and won't shut the ship down because that's actually bad for business. He needs to trust his pilots to make the runs and do what they need to and things and interfering in such a manner would be counterintuitive to business. But even though he doesn't have a tracker on the ship that anybody knows about, Jada's never said anything. He himself refers to himself, and other people refer to him as Captain Bipto, implying that he knows enough about ships and knowledge and things like that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could somehow basically pull strings, do some streetwise checks and things and try to track you down that way, and would probably have an easier time doing it than a lot of bounty hunters because it's his ship, sort of, but it's a ship working for his company.
All right. Well, on that note, Mr. Biptos, sir.
He will stop and look at you. What?
while I cannot speak for the entirety of the crew, I'm certain that we will attempt to make this dealt with as soon as possible.
I-
But
That's what I asked. Just deal with it.
yes, sir.
And he just
Yes, sir.
continues to walk off.
We will work on it. Thank you. I love it when he yells at me. No, I don't.
Hans is just gonna look over Richard and like, is she making it worse?
No, no.
No, he's
Oh,
a
okay, so that's
blowhard.
just how he is. Okay.
He'll get
Yes.
over it later.
Also, hello, Zobus.
That's just what I tell Kanza. Just sort
Yeah.
of hand wavy him.
Yeah, and this is the first time Zoe is seeing Kanza and Kanza seeing Zoe.
Who basically see, well, as a picture, someone in Mandalorian armor, purple and black with hints of gold.
Yeah. So since you're not super familiar with Star Wars, if you know the name Boba Fett, that kind of look.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know the name.
Yeah.
Don't
So-
know much about the character.
Yeah, no, you don't need to know
But
anything
no,
about the
I've
character.
seen
but that armor.
Zoe's
Yeah.
picture enough to
Yeah.
know like that is Zoe.
So,
Oh, damn shoulder. Okay. Just
what
hit.
does Zoe see when she looks at Kanza, if you don't mind me asking, Arena?
So since Kanza's not in combat gear at the moment, just more casual wear, just essentially humanoid. How tall is she? 5'4", pretty light build, and essentially what makes her kind set apart is there are scales over good portions of her body and horns.
The scales, though not the same color and type, do bear a memory of Vanguard, the pirate guy,
Okay.
all the way back in the beginning.
Okay. It's like, well, what brings you here, Miss
Kanza.
Kanza?
And apparently a friend of Richard's that I was traveling with decided it'd be fun to stick around with him.
Which friend?
DC.
Oh my, DC was here and you didn't tell me.
You
Nope.
were kind of sulking.
You were
Oh.
doing your own thing.
Yeah, I was kind of in the middle of punishing myself, and both mentally and physically. Ugh.
You're the one that Richard was talking.
Let's just
I'm just
say
gonna
waking
turn
night-
around, walk into my quarters, and push the button.
Let's just say waking nightmares aren't fun at all.
Oh, I know.
So, Richard, you were going to try to find out about a job, or you were just getting out of there to get out of there?
Getting out of there to get out of there for a minute.
Okay.
So, okay, we've got a bounty hunter on her. That's like, is there a market to Smith somewhere I can that somewhere I can get more information on the bounty hunter that's after us?
God, what do they call that? It's the Oh my lord, I cannot remember what they call it. It's basically the internet. I just can't think what it's actually called. HoloNet. That's right. The HoloNet. So yeah, you basically can use your data pad or go to a terminal and access the HoloNet and basically give me a mechanical computer program repair to see what kind of information that you can dig up.
Oh, goody.
Hmm.
I only have 2 dice in mechanical.
Hey, bright side. Once you get another checkpoint or have character points, you can bump that up. This is why we use skills, people.
Oh, here we go.
And then once they walk off the ship, I'll go down into the
Oh,
business.
13.
13. Okay. A lot of the information that you are finding on Zyrtec, um, it's pretty standard, like, profile stuff. Kind of if you were to look up like a YouTuber or Twitch streamer or, celebrity or whatever, where they basically put him at about 6'2", 6'3" in height. He's got a pretty decent weight of about like a 260, 280 pounds, somewhere in that range. It basically says that he's a Mandalorian, bounty hunting. He's been doing this job for about 6 years now. He's taken out a few hundred different jobs. He's got about a success rate of about 80 to 90% within that range. Tends to kill targets unless specified otherwise. His clan is the Loathe clan. That's all it says. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not going to give any more information than that.
So nothing about his base kit or anything like that.
Nope. It just basically kind of says that he's ruthless and basic kind of things that you guys collectively, come up with. It's basically the same thing with the addition of his height, his weight, and basically a stat of how decent this guy is at jobs. Because basically it has a, actually, I'm not going to flip for that. It has contact information.
Okay. Really?
Because why not? It's my game. I can do it.
His actual.
Yeah. If you want to hire him for a job, it has contact information. It's not a communication. Like, you can't just reach the dude, but essentially it's like emailing him to say, hey, I have a job. I want to put a bounty out.
Oh,
yes,
God.
you have contact information.
So I relay what I found to everyone.
Okay.
I don't know if I should do it.
We will do the relay later because it's going to take you time to look all this up.
I know that look, Tim.
Richard is going to be going to get some work. That was the last thing Richard said. So,
yep.
No metagaming it. Let's go.
I mean,
so,
is
you know me better than that.
I did
so
say
I'm gonna walk up, go, hey, how's it going?
The droid will acknowledge you and say, Richard, welcome back. I trust that everything I trust that your delivery to PowerPoint station was effective and pleasant.
Yes, we made the delivery.
Oh, good. May I help you?
Do we have any jobs to deliver supplies to the moon?
The droid will take a moment and it will basically kind of take the hand that's got like the little probe unit that goes into the port to spin around to basically access the computer. So rather than typing out like we do, they just got this thing that plugs in and just feeds all the information. So kind of like almost like a USB, but it's sending and receiving information. It takes a few minutes and they will say, yes, there's a scheduled delivery within the next 3-day cycles. No one has yet to take the job.
We'll go ahead and pick it up.
Okay, so there'll be a moment where the droid will say, one moment, as basically there'll be kind of some the spinning and everything else. You actually see some blinking in the eyes and everything else. And there'll be kind of I imagine behind the desk, there'll be like all these data tablets. One of them will basically come to life as you can kind of see the screen flickering through several different images. We're going to say about a minute or two later, the droid will remove the probe and then will basically reach over, grab that. Oop, I hit my mic. Grab the data tablet and then hand it to you.
All right. Be like, appreciate it. We'll let you know when it's done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Be safe.
We'll try.
Okay. So as you're walking away, would you like to look at the tablet?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to see if there's any information on landing and layout.
The layout is pretty skint. Basically, what it says is that you would be delivering to docking platform what was it? Docking platform 5. The cargo and delivery. Your stomach is going to tie into a knot for a moment as you just gonna close your eyes and go, crap. The cargo is as followed. You have 4 crates of supplies. You have 4 astromech droids. You have 2 protocol droids, 4 technicians, and a what do they refer to those as? Junior Lieutenant Erica Myers, along with a logistics droid.
That don't sound.
Well, this definitely complicates things.
It
Just
does.
a smidge.
Just a
You
smidge.
think?
And now we know the title of the episode: Complications.
Why,
Well,
Mojo?
it's not
Why?
quite as severe as I was expecting given the title.
The show's not over yet, friend.
Yep. Don't tempt the DM, please.
Oh, he already knows what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I know.
That's-
So,
That smile scares me, Scotty.
How about this one?
Worse.
It's the
we both
caffeine.
did the eyebrow thing.
Yep.
Anywho.
Yep.
So I'm probably going to take a look at that, head back to the ship, go into my quarters, and think about it for a bit.
Okay. So, Crom, we'll cover
Yes.
you.
All right.
So, what would you like to do? Zoe went to go grab a terminal and do some research. Richard said he's going to go get a job. And then, what were you planning on doing?
I need to go doing. I need to do a little bit of shopping.
Alrighty, shopping it is. Thank you. Shopping it be. What were you wanting to pick up? Curiosity.
First of all, I need to get rid of this tube comlink I have.
Yeah.
I need to get an ear comlink, and I need something else. I need. I'm assuming they won't have this, but I need like a scan pad.
Scan pad defined.
Yeah, like if I use it on the droid head, it would scan the inside of it, so I wouldn't have to constantly take it apart. And
So
I
a
could
scanner.
go, okay, yeah, just like a scanner. And I needed something else, and I can't remember. There was something else I needed, and I can't remember what it was now.
Check the conveyances
Yep.
handout.
Oh, I wanted to try and find a slug rifle.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What kind of flow?
and just like a mid to long range shotgun. Oh, and oh, that's it. I also wanted to get a riot shield.
All right.
Well,
So,
on that note,
for-
I also wanted to do something like around those
Starting
lines.
I
to
am
sound
not
like
making this a
NYPD.
shopping episode, y'all. I'm letting you know this now. He will do
Oh
it.
no, I can do it in the background. It's
That's
upgrading
fine.
armor.
That's fine.
I just want to
But
let
I'm
you know
just-
what I want.
That we can talk about that later. I'm not doing a full-on shopping episode. I'm warning you now.
I understand.
Okay. All right. So let's see. How about let's see. Stampede Industries.
Actually,
All right.
If you get-
So you are going to be paying if you have 300 credits for the personalized ear comm link.
Okay, where are my credits? I know I have them. I know I got paid. Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. The riot gun without ammunition is going to be 500 credits. So that is a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then
So it was how much? It was 500 for the shotgun
Yep, 500 for the shotgun.
and 300 for the earpiece. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to put in the details of the shotgun and chat there. And then did you want a assault rifle style or did you want a sniper rifle or just like a basic shot or basic rifle?
Basically,
Can't go wrong with Kirby.
kind of what's his name had towards the beginning of the first session.
Oh, that's what you got. That shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was referring to as a rifle. You said something about a rifle. You wanted that?
No, a
Okay.
riot shield.
Oh, riot shield. Okay. All right. Now, the gun has no ammunition, so Da-da-da-da-da-da. You have a laundry list of things that you can purchase. Okay.
Okay.
So with this particular weapon from Stampede Industries, okay, you have rubber rounds, slug rounds, scatter shot, explosive slug. They do not have the armor piercing, but it is an option. You also have blaster shots of stun shot, blaster shot, and Tabana shot. So
Okay.
to explain it is essentially that rather than having the gas and the energy pack like blasters do, the slug weaponry handles just like any ammunition that we have in modern firearms. But these are actually designed that they have basically, dare I say, bullets and shells that instead of shooting out, metal and slugs and all that fun stuff, that basically will release blaster fire. So what kind of ammunition did you want?
So you said they don't have armor piercing.
Nope, no armor piercing.
So how much would it be for explosive rounds?
Explosive rounds are 50 credits. 50 credits for 10 shots.
50 credits for 10 shots. Okay.
What in my nose? That's not funny.
It's
very funny.
hysterical.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I will spend 200 for it's 40?
Believe so.
Yeah.
It was on here.
God, that still feels
Rifle, riot, explosive. Oh, wait, hold on a second. What did I quote you before? Just out of curiosity.
300, I think.
No, on the
Well,
shots.
not for the. Oh,
10 rounds per shot?
No, they're basically a buck a shot. I looked back at it. So 50 credits for 50 shots. They come in boxes
Oh,
of 50.
okay.
So
Okay, so
I was looking at something else. Sorry.
you're fine.
I'm glad I double checked that because I thought that just doesn't sound right. So yeah, I'm glad I double checked that.
So it's 50 it's a buck it's a buck around. Okay.
Buck around. Yep.
Okay, so now I'm sitting here thinking, how much is 200? How many is 200 rounds?
4. Yeah. So you'd basically buy 4 boxes. So
Yeah.
yeah. So 1 for 1.
I will buy. Yeah, I will buy 4. I'll basically buy 4 boxes,
Mhm.
and I'll buy some basic rounds too. So
The basic rounds are basic slug rounds.
yeah, basic slug rounds.
Okay, so 25 credits will get you 100 rounds.
All right. So I'll spend 100. I'll spend on
turn the air off.
I will spend another 100 to
400 rounds.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and I think that'll be a good starting point.
Okay. And then as for your riot shield, it will be 700 credits.
All right.
And I
Does it-
will.
Does it come charged? Or do I need to charge it myself?
Hold on a second. Use blocking attacks. Shield. Also stun damage. No, this one isn't it doesn't have any charges for this one. It's basically just a flat metal kind of thing, and you just slap the shit out of somebody. It's like a standard riot shield.
Oh, okay. So it's not the one with the stun feature. Okay.
No, yeah. This one
Okay.
that they have is a standard riot shield. And I'll
So
paste.
basically, I just wallop someone with a riot shield.
Pretty much, you just poof, and then it deals 46 damage, but that damage is a stun. Cannot talk.
Yeah, it's stun.
Yes.
Just enough time for me to pick them up and repeatedly beat them.
Pretty much.
Okay, so
Excuse me.
just to be clear, I got 400 rounds of. I spent 200 on the explosives, and that's and 100 on the basic.
Right.
Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get all this down proper.
You're fine. And just as another kind of fun thing is that not just for you, but for anybody listening, Stampede Industries is something custom made. And despite the fact that he just bought explosive rounds, I will state that Crom is smart enough to know explosive rounds can be very illegal in certain areas and stuff like that. The planet you guys are on, it's not exactly lawless, but it's kind of close. So, kind of think the old Wild West. A lot more rules were lenient about certain things.
Yeah.
But in other
Okay.
areas, you can be in a lot of trouble for having those. Just a heads up.
Okay.
On that note, I'm assuming you're also assuming competence with storage of the said explosive rounds.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure he's smart. He's how old was Crom? Like 200-300?
I am 100 years from death. I am 300 years old.
There you go.
Okay,
I am
so
old.
yeah.
I am smarter than most.
Yeah. It's all good.
Smarter or wiser?
I'm smarter than you.
Sure. There you go.
There's a difference between intelligence and wisdom.
So, Kanza,
Yes.
while they're all doing that, is there anything Kanza would like to do?
Honestly forgot to check with you before we started all this. Do
Mhm.
I have ammo for the weapons that I have?
Yes. So all the ammo should be. Remind me what your weapons are.
It was the bipolar blaster carbine and the Merson Quick 6.
Let's see. It should be 50 and 50.
I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
I actually had the
Double
ammo.
check in the weapons section, and then look up the things, and then basically where it says ammo.
Yeah, so it
cost,
says
yeah.
50 in both of them.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, you should have basically one magazine charge.
okay. I just want to make sure I actually keep track of it.
Yep, absolutely. So, were you just kind of looking over your weapons and cleaning and all that other kind of fun stuff?
Essentially.
Okay. So, while everybody's kind of doing their things, I imagine people are going to start making their way back to the ship with maybe a pre-designated time everybody need to come back. So, Richard's looking over the data tablet, but before everybody gets on the ship, because I know Richard and Jada and how they work and things, that did Richard want to talk to Jada before talking to everybody in the crew, or did he want to just talk to everybody at once?
I would talk to Jada first.
Okay.
Before I go back,
Mm-hmm.
would there be a place to look at star charts, like at a library or something?
Oh yeah, that'd be another HoloNet thing. You could look it up at any terminal.
Okay. I will do that. I'll do that on my own time then.
Okay. Yep. All right. So Richard, you calling Jada? Or are you going to Jada?
I'll go to Jada.
Okay. So you're going to find her, and Kit are going to be basically kind of maintaining the droid brain, making sure that everything's done, proper connections, finite stuff because she slapped it in pretty quick. It functions, but she wants to make sure that, everything's right. So she's really going through running more diagnostics and like doing all that kind of fun stuff. So, yep, she's there.
I'm gonna walk in, look at her, and go, so how's it holding up?
She will nod her head, and then she will kind of take a break, wipe the sweat from her brow, and she will say, Jada is confident it is holding up well. This one, however, just wanted to make sure that everything was, in fact, holding up well. The merchant that Jada purchased this from was not lying. The droid brain is of good quality, she says.
That's good.
And then she'll kind of start going back to work and she'll say, what does Richard want with Jada?
We have the delivery job.
That's better.
That's all she does. And
take a look at the manifest, and I'll walk over.
she will kind of pause while she's working, sigh heavily, set her tools down. She'll pull out a rag and she'll wipe off her hands and things like that. And then she'll put the rag back in her back pocket, and then she'll reach out and take the data tablet. So as she's looking at it, did you want to say anything or just wait for her reaction?
I'm gonna wait for her reaction.
Okay. She will just kind of look through and just goes, this one was afraid of that.
Yep.
She nods her head. She says, though sometimes the Empire strictly transports parts, supplies, and crates through independent contractors, she says, a lot of times they will need technical support, and anytime people are involved, she says, they will often send a babysitter, is how she's going to say it.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
She will then hand you back the data tab when she says, Richard understands this complicates things.
This complicates things a lot.
She nods her head, and she will say that the name Erica Myers, which I might have said Eric before, but Erica Myers, does not sound familiar to her. The rank of junior lieutenant is one that's not too far above an ensign. So they're young, she says, at least in terms of their imperial service. They've probably served a few different terms consecutively. And then she will say many of that rank are trying to move up in the Empire, and they are tryhards, she says.
Yep.
So what does Richard want to do about this complication?
Talk with everybody.
She nods her head. And she says, when they arrive, she says, I will not tell you I told you so. Or I gotta think how Jada says it. Jada will not tell Richard, this one told you so. That's how she'll say it.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say that.
She will snicker, and she will nod her head. She'll say, of course.
So, I'll go sit down with the tablet.
Okay.
And just be looking over it.
All right. So, and at that point in time, everybody's going to be back on the ship.
So as people are getting in, I'm offering them a seat.
Okay. Everybody's has their seat. Everybody's sitting down. Crom looks like he's got some new toys. Zoe has a helmet on, so you can't read her face, but her body mannerisms are a little off. Kanza's just kind of like, I am here. Same with
Very much so.
yeah, same with Yumi and Zagar. They're just kind of waiting on you.
All right. So we have our delivery. It's in about 3 days from now. And there are some complications.
Complications.
So on the manifest is a junior lieutenant.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, an imperial soldier. They almost never come by themselves.
She
Oh.
will Jada, when you say soldier, she will kind of put a hand up and she will say officer. Technically it is an officer rank, she says.
So what are we talking? Ensign?
Junior lieutenant.
Oh, why?
Because why could anything ever go our way?
Well, we're working for Mojo. We don't have a choice.
Oh, we can come up with a new plan.
Jada says
True.
this one suggests a new plan and a new plan quickly.
Yes.
Anyone know how to get a trooper suit? She says jokingly.
Are you passing on the data tablet or are you just talking about it out of curiosity?
I'll pass it around.
Okay. So who do you pass it to first?
I would probably pass it to Crom first.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it over.
Mhm.
Do I recognize anything?
Nope. Looks like a pretty standard doc. I mean, no, it doesn't look anything special.
And you said it had they were bringing droids.
Yes, they're bringing, I believe it was 4 astromechs and 2 protocols. And then the junior lieutenant is bringing a logistical droid.
Can I look at Jada? What are the odds we could say put a listening device on one of these, Jada?
Jada will kind of. The odds are good, she says. However, the junior lieutenant's job will be to make sure things like this do not happen.
They're bound to do a sweep of just about everything. This is the Empire, not rebels. They're thorough.
I'm well aware they're thorough, but they're also sloppy at times.
Jada will nod her head
True.
and she will say, "If they follow, if the junior lieutenant follows protocol,
Which they
this will not
usually
work."
do.
So, question about droids.
Yes. You will actually hear that from Jada and Yumi at the same time. Yes.
So, would they be able to be accessed remotely?
That would be hard, wouldn't it? Like, really hard.
No, those particular ones.
Military level
Time for
encryption
Beacher to
and
come out?
whatnot.
No, it's not even necessarily the military encryption. The protocol droids more than likely would be harder than most because most of their stuff is pretty self-contained. For the functions that they use them for is just as the name implies, for protocol, keeping up on stuff, talking different languages, assessing situations and everything else. So they're glorified assistants. Excuse me. The astromechs, possibly, but they would essentially have to be sending out a signal in order for it to be effective. when they aren't sending out, like how R2 has like the little dish thing, like scanning and all that stuff, when they're not sending signals out, everything's essentially shut off. When things are shut off, there's no way to get into them. That will all come from Jada.
Do we know anything about the logistics droid?
Logistics droids are just as they imply. The logistics droids will basically keep. They are the ones that are essentially the actual ones that are keeping the manifest in check. So they will keep a very close count. They will know exactly what is brought on. They will know exactly, who's who, what's what, and everything else. That it is literally their jobs to make sure that it says 4 technicians. It is 1 junior lieutenant. It is 1 junior lieutenant. If those boxes have got thousands of parts, it will know each of those parts and what they're used for.
So, how hard would it be to hack into that?
Jada will say if the logistics droid or any of the other droids are left unchecked, which the logistics droid should be more free roaming than the others, a simple spike could override a what are those things? Restraining bolt. Well placed restraining bolt.
So, any chance to make this look natural, like a power surge or something?
Jada will say that the easiest way that she can think of to handle the logistics droid would be to corner it, deactivate it, and then reprogram it.
Richard,
So,
question.
yeah.
How easy would it be to get not necessarily Imperial uniforms, but I don't know, like janitor,
Yumi will be having the tablet next, and she will say,
stormtroopers?
"Yeah." She will be the next one to have the tablet, and she will say, well, I see a perfectly fine uniform here." As she looks at the picture of the junior lieutenant.
There's a whopping. The junior lieutenant is, I'm assuming, human, right?
Mm-hmm. Most of your Imperial officers are human. Most of your stormtroopers are human. If not all of them.
What are the chances we could intercept? Question. Does it look like, I can't believe I'm saying this, does it look like Zoe could fit that uniform?
I don't know. What's your height and weight and stuff?
My height is 5'10". My weight is about 175.
Nope. You're too tall. It'll start. It will Indiana Jones. The shirt won't fit.
How tall?
Don't ask me to put it on. It don't
How
fit me in the
tall-
slightest.
How tall is this woman? Or rather, how short is this woman?
She is about 5'1", 5'2".
Okay, she is okay, she's small.
Well,
It'll fit over my arm.
Huh.
Jada. Yumi will say, if you can detain her, she says, I can pose as her. I'm slightly taller, she says. However, I should be able to fit the uniform. I would just need a little bit of time to speak with her, know her voice. She says, get to understand her mode of thinking. Zagar, she says, Zagar can probe her mind for important information. Zagar just goes, I'm not good at doing that stuff. I don't want to kill her. And she just kind of nods her head and she says, well, collateral damage.
There's always the old-fashioned way. And she does do everything that I just did there on visual.
Yeah.
So if we can get her, but we'd have to be really bloody quick.
So
Stun bolt will take care of it.
I like your enthusiasm. But if
Jay,
we could get a hold of that droid, would you be able to remotely control it and have it transmit the data to us?
Without getting caught.
she will. Well, Jada will pipe up and she will say that they don't actually have those type of scanners and those types of communication devices on those droids. They have externals. And then Yumi will just shrug her shoulders and she will say that, if we can reprogram it, she says, shouldn't take long. Basically, give it the information that we need and then allow it to kind of transmit the information to us. She says, however, does it have the ability to actually transmit from itself? And Jada will shake her head and she'll say no. And if a transmission is sent from any of the terminals, it will be picked up, she says. And if somebody is paying attention, they will know exactly where it's being transmitted to, she says.
Okay.
Here's an idea. How about remote, viewing? Pen and paper. Get just pen and paper that, if we have to. I mean, it's archaic, but if it's the only way we got, it's the only way we got.
I don't think we have 20 years to copy all those transcripts.
Yeah,
Good point. I'm being desperate here, hoping that someone can improve a horrible idea.
Yumi just shakes her head and she says, "No, I think my idea is sound." She says, "Why is everybody complicating this?" She will state, "If I can pose with this as this junior lieutenant," she says, Jada can easily change the manifest to allow for more technicians, allowing anyone to board the station."
So
Then
you're certain you can pull off posing as this junior lieutenant?
she will look at you and she will say in your voice, "Of course I can."
All right. You mean can you be careful?
Still in your voice, she will say, "More careful than you."
That hurts. I was genuinely worried about your well-being.
I start walking towards snacks. Since we're in the common area.
Yep.
All
But
right.
Yumi will finish her thought and she will say that if she can go in essentially as if she's understanding this empire, and if they're anything like she's encountered before, the junior lieutenant should have ways to access restricted areas. Maybe not higher restricted areas, but if basically this Erica Myers can get into at least the communications room, that Yumi says that she's like, I can pull all the information that we need. She says, but doing it another way now, she says, is going to be tougher.
Okay, so how long would that take and how would you get out?
She will shrug her shoulders and she will say that I do not think it should take long. She says, I can download 16 petabytes within a minute.
Okay, realistically, it's like what's bigger than a zettabyte? Do you know, Tim?
You know, you picked a very interesting one to ask that question for. It's a yottabyte.
Nice.
Thank you.
YOTA.
I knew that at one point, but I forgot it. You know, the sad part is I'm looking at a literal hard drive that has that on it. Yada Master.
So she will basically kind of say, depending on the file size, she says this could be anywhere between a minute to 10 minutes, she says. However, she will shrug her shoulders and she will say, "This is why I think having people pose as technicians could be beneficial," she says, "or janitors or whatever. This way,
Yeah.
the manifest would show that you're supposed to be on there. We can still go with the plan of temporarily disabling the engines, buying everybody time."
Fair enough. Like,
And that
so
should mostly take away the variable of the inspection because you could corroborate it.
She nods her head. She says, "Absolutely." She says, "If it takes," she will look at, no, she'll look at Richard. She'll look at Richard and she'll say, "Am I correct in assuming you should take about 8 hours in your hyperspace time to get from here to the moon?"
I don't think that would take 8 hours, would it?
Takes about 3 days in normal space, so it should take about 8 hours, give or take.
Okay, then yeah.
8 to 12.
yeah,
Ah, that
Um,
moon's a long ways away.
Yeah,
his math is actually correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
She will just kind of shrug her shoulders and she will say, 6 hours with her. She says, "I can get whatever I need to," she says, "from her. And we can basically, whatever information that I can get from her," she says, "I can pass along. You guys can change the manifest, do whatever you need to," she says, "and I can basically blend in," she says.
All right. I'm okay with this plan. Anybody else?
Works better than my final go-to plan of, oh yeah, Imperial bounty got. But yes, this will do. But
She, you will look over at you and say, "I thought all your plans were just to shoot things."
no,
Oh,
no, they were not.
oh, okay. I just misunderstood, she says.
It
But
just seems like
it's
this
like
one would be a
bounty hunter
actual
rule number
hand-to-hand
one:
combat.
always have a contract on you. You never know when it could come in handy, especially when it's imperially signed. I don't know if any of you have ever seen Django Unchained, but that's where I got that from. It's a good strategy and it works.
Possibly. Okay.
Eh,
So
when it works, it works.
what is everybody else's take on it?
So
I'm worried to see at this point what this Imperial junior officer is going to do once they get on our ship.
Yeah.
If they're going to start trying to basically bark orders at us, what's going to happen? And there, is where my plan is going to go.
we're going to need to
Jada will say
comply.
that since we are taking the contract, we are essentially working for the Empire. The junior lieutenant, in their eyes, is in charge of everything. If this one were the junior lieutenant, this one would take a manual walk inspection among the ship before the other crew arrive. And then, how would she say this? She would go manually check everything in the ship, make sure everything was basically up to snuff, and then basically just kind of take it from there. So Jade is basically implying that she may even show up early.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've also heard Imperials aren't too friendly with non-human races.
Tends to be the case.
Yes, most of them are xenophobic. Not all of them, but most of them.
And then there's what, look at me and what I'm wearing. It depends on, am I on their payroll or not?
If you chances are if you stand out in anything that's not Imperial colors, then yeah, they're gonna notice that you're just a Mandalorian, and they would probably look down at you because you're not working with the Empire.
Exactly.
I fully
So-
expect them to look at me and say, "Look at this beast. What is this beast of burden doing here?"
Yeah. So How are we going to deal with Little Miss Thing then?
Yumi, I believe you would be more than capable of taking her down when the time is right.
Yumi says, yeah, I can do that. She says,
That
I don't believe, how would she word this? I will not kill her, she says. I do not see, at least as of right now, that she poses any threat to me. She says, I can knock her out, and then it'll be up to everyone else to maintain her slumber, she'll say.
yeah, trust me, killing her would cause more problems than good. Anyway.
All right.
Yumi just
We
shrugs
need
her
some
shoulders.
tranquilizers.
So what about
Adamox is going to just kind of go and pat his blaster rifle and say, just set it to stun.
Yeah.
Gag her, bind her, and shove her in a room or something.
so also what about so the data packet didn't say anything about her having an entourage with her, proper like guards and
Nope.
stuff.
It is basically, she is basically the entourage for the logistics droid. So she's the one that's basically going to be in charge, and the logistics droid is kind of make sure everything runs smooth.
Okay, so there's not a single gun on her other than her. Oh boy. So yeah, this is gonna go by real quick though.
Yeah.
I know how you
We'd
guys
have
roll
to-
dice. It might not.
We'd have to be like butter, otherwise we just gotta be ready.
So Jada will then say, if Yumi is posing as Erica Myers, Crom must stay on the ship.
Yes.
She will kind of look at you three and say, should Richard, Zoe, and Adamox head in to assist Yumi? Zagar will step up and go to say something, and then Jada will kind of look at him and just shake her head, and she say, despite being a near human, she says, not many near humans will sign up for the Empire. She says, Zagar may stick out in a bad way.
Like a sore thumb, unfortunately, Zagar. And then there's the other thing we told you about.
He just shrugs his shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay. He says that's fine. And then Jada will look at Kanza and she will just kind of, You are very different from what most people in the Empire would see, she says. I'm not sure if you should leave the ship. Or if you did, a disguise maybe?
She's just gonna look up and say,
No.
and what kind of disguise would help with this? Just gesturing to herself.
Jada will kind of take a moment and she will say, can you impersonate a droid?
I've never tried.
She
So
will
cocks her head at Jada.
She will just kind
Oh.
of stiffly walk, if you've ever seen C-3PO, the golden droid, and she will say, walking like this, she says, does not take much practice. She says, and the outfit this one provides for you may also help you getting into character, is how she's going to say it.
Game Master, speaking of walking, I was gonna think about something. It's like, so you can Yumi, you can imitate this lieutenant, but can you mannerisms basically, the walk, the talk, the I'm the ever living crap. You get the point.
She will chuckle a little bit and she says, "This is why I need at least 6 hours talking with her.
Okay, because it's
You-
like
I have to be able to pick up on these things." She says, "I can." She says, "But," she says, "certain conversations will need to be had." She says, "And I need to be alone for a certain amount of time." She says, "But I will also need to see how she acts when she is barking orders, how she handles non-imperials, how she talks to the droid, and also how she is on her alone time." She says, "I will need time to compile um, a generalized report," is how she's going to say it.
I see.
I think that can be arranged.
She will nod her head.
So you just need some time left alone with the junior lieutenant.
She'll nod her head and she'll say, "Yeah." She's, I think I can do this." She says, "I've
Yeah.
never really done anything like this before." She says, "Not to this scale." She says, "But I have the ability to mimic people." She says, "And entertain," is how she's going to say it.
So, Yumi, you are officially the best synthetic I have ever met.
She will just nod her head. "I will
So-
possibly be the only synthetic you will ever meet," she says.
So I'm gonna sit there and go, as a captain, I think if I leave the ship, it would look a little weird.
Jada kind of scrunches up. She's like, "If you leave," she says, "this one could become captain in your place." Like when she says that, you can tell she's very uncomfortable because it's putting her in a position of authority and it's putting her into the limelight, which she does not like.
Isn't Jada basically the first mate anyway?
She is.
Yeah.
Jada, if it makes you feel any better, I'll take over for you if you really need me to.
Jada kind of thinks for a moment on that one. She says, this one doesn't know how that would go." And she just,
Wait, idea, Richard. We want to see this lieutenant barking orders. Were you registered as the captain for the order?
Yeah.
Well, there goes that idea.
Can you change that order?
Jada nods her head.
Or can you make the Wookiee a second in command?
Jada nods her head and she says, "This one can
No offense,
alter."
Crom.
Yeah, this one could alter the transcript, she says.
Put me in charge. Let's see how she reacts.
This is going to be hilarious.
It's going to be a
So-
Storm King's Thunder all over again, isn't it?
Yumi, I apologize
Yep.
for the racism you're going to hear.
More like Eye of the Allfather.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I could
Caw.
definitely see it going that way.
Absolutely.
So, Crom, you ready to mess with a Imperial?
Oh, it's going to be fun. Just
Okay.
gonna look at Richard. Can I just
Go,
request
go.
one thing of you?
So, yes, sir.
Just
You can
ham,
request whatever.
just ham it up a little bit. Just a tad.
So what are you our captain and Richard is the face?
So, as fun as this sounds,
I know.
and as
This is,
fascinated as I am by this,
I know this is serious business, Richard. But you also remember, this is the Imperials we're talking about. We have to mess with them somehow.
and that
True.
will definitely be when they figure out that, hey, we're missing data. Oh, hey, where's the junior lieutenant? Oh, hey, where'd that person? Why are my kidneys over there?
Why is
Did
my
you-
arm all the way up in the ceiling?
Are you actually saying the kidney's smart?
Yeah, I say that out loud.
Like, yeah. It's like,
As
how are we going to?
fascinating as that would be, I think if you were first mate, it would look better.
Whatever you think is best, Richard. I'm just trying to help.
Jada nods her head and she says, Richard makes a good point. She says, you would have to reel it in, I believe the phrase is, she says.
I mean, first mate,
Whatever you want to do,
quartermaster,
Richard.
a position of power.
So
But-
now that we've kind of had some time to RP and things, that what is the actual plan?
So what I'm thinking is we go through. She shows up. Jada is the captain. Crom is first lieutenant. We could even pose Yumi as the person basically in charge of logistics on the ship,
Okay.
which would then get the two of them to interact.
Okay.
So that would be able to handle that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Just because for barking orders, we could have Zoe
Oh,
or Adamox be Zoe
Or-
or Adamox.
Yeah, I
Do
can see
something
that.
completely unexpected that would get her to start barking orders at them.
Okay.
so you want me to be random, is what you want.
You have been plenty random so far. I don't think you need to work at it.
Yeah.
I believe the term wild card comes to mind.
Well, there's
Adamox, as long as you don't have the vibro knife, you just need to be like that.
So take a
Like you
nap.
do have the vibro.
Do you have a picture of? So the data packet has a picture of the lieutenant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10 attractiveness.
I don't know. 6, 7.
Well, I can round her up a little. That's for sure.
The look on your face there, Chrono.
You know exactly why I got that look.
I know, that's why I brought attention to it. Anyways.
But still,
I'm going to look at Zoe and go, I don't know about galactic age of consent laws, but they are a soldier.
You went right for it.
I'm an adult, sort of. Look,
You're
I
still
am
a child
legal.
in my eyes.
Went right for it. Well, thank you.
I kept it
Why?
together right up until I saw your camera.
Yep.
And I was like, yep. Okay,
It's like,
trying
Uh, uh,
again.
Okay.
are we done there, sir?
I don't know about galactic age of consent laws, but I'm pretty sure that the military has strict regulations on that.
Hey, you wanted me to get her barking orders. Want me to get her flustered? What better way?
Pretty sure
Yumi, is this necessary?
Yumi just shrugs her shoulders and she says, I imagine if Jada says that she's a low ranking official, I only need a handful of information. She says, I don't need everything, every bit of knowledge from her. She's like, can improvise.
Enough?
Kan's
just
gonna
trying to
raise a
get
hand. Can we
reactions
make
out of her.
that one the droid instead?
Which one, the
Just pointing
droid?
at Zoe.
Oh.
Like if
Uh,
if the Imperials
you-
have a superiority complex to, I guess, lesser creatures, as you say, and with me being newer to this part, wouldn't she be more prone to start barking orders and being however she is?
Possibly. Jada will say, this one was referring more to if you wish to assist them on the complex. She says, Jada believes that up until that point, Kanza can be Kanza.
Fair enough.
However, once again, this one believes that you would just need, or Kanza would just need some type of disguise, something that would blend in and not stand out. if Kanza so chose to assist with this.
If assistance needed, I'll do what I need to.
So it's up to you, basically. I'm just kind of letting you know that if you want to go onto the base when the time comes, if you walk out as is, heads are going to turn, and it is going. You will be more of the sore thumb than Zagar would be. I'm just letting you know.
I'm a distraction. Wait,
Yeah. That's not always a good thing. Crom, how did that go?
Hey, you did a really good job
You
at
actually
it for
did.
quite a while.
You did, actually. But ultimately, how did it end up?
It ended up with us on a death world.
Pretty much.
Next time, if it happens,
Okay.
I'm going to take them with me.
no, all joking aside, perfectly fine with trying to act a droid.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I'm afraid I can't.
Um,
let you do that.
So, if you have any other better idea, I'm just kind of tossing it. I just toss the droid thing out there for whatever. So, we think we have a pretty good idea how you guys want to handle this situation, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then we will basically screen swipe or fast forward time to about 8 hours before the scheduled delivery is supposed to be delivered, and like all the technicians and droids and things that the junior lieutenant will show up with a logistics droid and basically request to speak to the captain of the ship and to allow her to do inspections.
Do we see who it is?
The junior lieutenant?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the woman. It's that Eric Myers chick. So Junior Lieutenant Myers.
So, as I hear that, I'm like sitting in my chair eating, and then I hear that. I
Right.
slide my plate over a little bit and just go. Just kick my feet up.
You are the captain?
Nope.
Where's this captain? I need to speak with the captain.
Probably tinkering with the droid head. Let me go find her for you.
Okay. She will be kind of standing there. Yumi, I think, will be kind of nearby. Inconspicuously just watching. So you go off and you find Jada.
Yeah, I find Jada and I go, "Hey."
Jada
She's
turns
here.
around. Jada goes, this one hates this plan, she says. As she will
I'm going to be
clean
just
her
going to be
hands
down
up.
there. Do you want me to come in later?
She shakes her head. She says, Lieutenant, Junior Lieutenant Myers may want to speak to the captain. She says, but you are my, this one's partner in crime, she says. And then makes a motion like, follow.
Understood, Captain.
I will follow as well back
Mhm.
and go back to sitting in the chair.
Okay.
And
Jada will basically walk up and extend a hand. She'll say, greetings. This one's name is Jada, captain of the DP-28. The junior lieutenant will look slightly confused as she will look over at the logistics droid who is holding a data tablet, and she'll say, let me see that for a moment. She'll kind of look at it and she'll say, information says that a Richard Castle is the captain. Jada will say, used to be captain. She says, or no, she won't say used to be captain. She'll say, this one is temporarily filling into spot as there was an accident that put Richard out of commission, she says. Okay. Fine. She will then introduce herself as, Junior Lieutenant Myers, and she is basically going to say, I need to examine your ship. Make sure everything's on the up and up, that there aren't anything fishy or funny going around. Now, while she's talking, Crom is there, and she's looking at you, but she's not like giving a nasty look, but there is a slight bit of worry because you are a Wookiee. And apparently she's thinking you're going to just rip her arms out or
I just
something like
look,
that.
I just look at her and give that oh so small smile.
Okay,
um,
so she's just got xenophobia right now.
well,
Not
it's not
necessarily.
necessarily xenophobia. It's
It's more
legitimate.
paranoia.
It's
It's
a it's
paranoia that I'm going
Fear
to
for her
snap.
life.
yeah, it is a legitimate fear that when you come across a Wookiee in the Star Wars universe that you don't know that it could potentially
Could
rip your arms
snap
out.
at any second.
Right. So it's one of those things where she's kind of slightly uncomfortable. She doesn't seem to be xenophobic, but she does kind of like this like leery look. Jada
So
will also motion a hand towards Crom and she will say, this is Crom is this one's acting first mate while Richard is in recovery, she says.
I'll just take a step forward,
Hmm.
and I will just ever so slowly extend a hand, like, oh, look at the little, just in that way of, look at the little child. I just try to act like I'm going to, just the slightest touch will break her. Just,
Um,
I'm-
she will kind of look at your hand and say, oh, like she's like most imperial. She's got like her hands behind her back. She's standing at attention, looking authoritative and things that she does. And she's, oh. So she kind of stands at ease a little bit, takes out one hand and like slowly reaches it back and kind of takes it. And you can tell like as she's grabbing your hand, she's not putting a death grip on it, but she's not being light. There's like this concern of hers if she doesn't know how to shake your hand, and her hand is way smaller than yours. So rather than taking your hand, she's basically kind of like what she
You're
think
taking
is your hand is basically like your middle finger and like your index finger and starts shaking.
I just gently take her hand, put it in my palm, and just give it a very light shake.
um, she will then say, pleasure.
I I'm just gonna look at her. Do you speak Wookiee? And just in that way that you talk to a child.
Right. All right. So
All I'm hearing is
yeah, she will kind of look at you, and you can tell like it's that you have like 4 or 5 years of Spanish that you were like learning, but you've never used it. And then somebody from, like you go to Mexico or Spain and somebody starts speaking Spanish to you, and you're like, oh crap. So like there's this moment of like gears turning, and she's like, a little bit. She says, it is a difficult language to learn. She says, almost impossible to speak, she says.
You don't have to speak it, dear. You just have to understand it.
Um, she she kind of takes a moment again. She'll nod her head and she'll say, I will do my best. If I misinterpret anything, she's please be understanding, she says.
Oh, I'll be very understanding, dear. I'm an old man. I'm not going to rip your arm off or anything. I'm
She
not.
she will start giving a like nervous smile, like
uh, as that's happening, and I basically like hear the cringe behind me,
Mhm.
and I hear the conversation. I go, "Hey, I haven't seen him break his word yet."
She'll say, "Well, this is
Oh
very
God.
reassuring."
I
I'm
think so.
sure he's broken worse. So,
So
of course, I'm not there yet, so I can't
yeah.
say that.
So she will go ahead and Jada will basically take her and go through the engine room and everything else and kind of just take her time to go through. Now, as she's exiting the engine room, where would Zoe and then where would Kanza like to be?
Uh,
Oh,
see.
I know where Kanza would be.
Zoe would probably be looking like she's running some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Maintenance on not maintenance, but what is it when you're checking things without actually physically?
Pretending.
Oh no. I mean
Inspection.
an actual inspection, but no light inspection of. We did just recently get shot and to hell. I'm
Okay.
basically looking at. I'm near the guns, inspecting those and doing the work.
Okay. Zoe will walk past you walking at a a gentle and slow pace as she will extend a hand. She will say, this one is Zoe Bruss. Zoe, this is Junior Lieutenant Meyer. She says, she the junior lieutenant will be overseeing the transportation of the goods, she says.
Ah, I see. Greetings, Lieutenant.
She will kind of nod her head and then like throw up like a hand, like hello. To which she will say, uh, mm, "It's very rare to see a Mandalorian and not in servitude to the Empire." She says. Um, when she says that, she doesn't sound cocky. She doesn't sound like um spiteful or anything. There's a little bit of almost genuine curiosity to her.
Well, the way the cards aligned, I ended up here.
Um, she will kind of nod her head and she will say, "Well, if the Empire could use your help," she says, "you could always think of enlisting." She says, "There have been rebel agents and cells popping up." She says, I even have um, a general understanding." She says that a few days ago, there was a man that killed 6 stormtroopers in a blaster fight. If you have any information on this man, she says, we would be very grateful. His name is Dash Darklighter.
That name sounds very familiar to the player.
As it should.
Sounds even more familiar to me.
It does.
So, can I? Do I recognize the name? Does Zoe recognize the name?
No, you don't. On this stage of his career.
I don't. But but I've done a few jobs for the Empire freelance, bounty hunter work.
She nods her head and she'll say, we'll keep an eye out for him. She says, it's actually amazing. She says that we were able to come across this information. Provided, she says, that it is reliable information. She says, it came from a vagabond, from my understanding.
Okay, Pat tosses her a data pad. It's like, do you have a packet on information on him, a face, something you can put on this?
She will shake her head and she'll say, no. She says, we only have the name. She says, he's been extremely elusive. Very hard to get. Very hard.
Last known location?
It will be a bar basically in the downtown district. And she will basically explain that a couple of troopers were basically kind of doing their patrols and things at that, where a we're not going to call it a fight. She's going to kind of be vague in the term, and she's going to say that there was a disturbance that they were beginning to check in on. Some kind of, don't think she'd say half breed, Star Wars. A near human, she says, was wanted for questioning and began to evade our troopers. She says, and this man had stepped in. She says, and basically got into a firefight, killing the stormtroopers.
So stormtroopers. How you said? Did you say 6?
There are 6 troopers.
Okay, so remind me. Is their aim as infamous as it is, or no?
What's his infamous?
Or stormtrooper aim, is it as infamous as,
In the movies,
or anywhere near that infamous?
it is all up to the dice.
So, be
They can
honest.
actually be a legitimate threat in the system.
Fair enough.
So,
Quick,
yeah.
when you say troopers, were they actual crack shots or were they the usual bottom barrel level troopers?
When you say that, she looks slightly offended and she says that, I assure you, she says, our troopers are very well trained. Maybe not to your Mandalorian standard, she says, but I believe that
Oh,
we have a higher standard than most.
oh no, ma'am. I didn't mean it like that. I meant, were they elite troopers? Were they standard troopers? Were they bottom barrel troopers?
She will say standard troopers.
Ah, I see.
Okay.
Oh, that's rather impressive.
Mm.
6 of them.
And then
Mm.
she will just kind of throw her hand up and she'll say, if you come across any information, she says, please let your nearest imperial advisor know. And then they will continue their walk.
She'll give a imperial salute. Lieutenant.
Yep. She will nod her head. And then Kanza, where are you at?
Imagine right now Cons would be again in the common area, but very meticulously polishing the vibroblade.
Okay. So they will basically, come to the common room where apparently everybody else is pretty much sitting, and then she will start going around labeling everybody, giving them names. When she comes to Richard, she will say, and this is a new recruit, she says, to the ship, and apologies, this one cannot remember your name.
Brad.
Ah, yes. And she'll kind of tap her forehead. She's like, many things have been happening. She's this one's mind is slipping. She's Brad. The junior lieutenant will kind of look and she'll say, I've never known someone with a droid brain to have a slip in memory. And Jada will just kind of despite having the droid brain, she says, this one does not access it all the time, she says, and there are still many organic components, she says, that are failing. Thus the droid brain, she says. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a medical condition. She says, it is okay.
I'll reach my hand out to shake hers.
Yep, and she will shake your hand, and then she will basically kind of go over the same spiel with you guys about this Dash Darklighter. To keep an eye out for him, that he is to be treated as an extreme threat against the Empire, having killed 6 troopers, and any information gained should be taken to the Imperial advisor on the planet.
I just go, keep an eye out.
Okay. And they'll continue finishing walking the ship. They'll kind of go through all the stuff and everything else, and the junior lieutenant will nod her head as they walk down the ramp, and she'll say that the ship looks to be in fair shape. She said, I didn't see anything odd or out of place. She says the delivery time has not changed. She says the technician should arrive. She says, and I will be here exactly 1 hour before they arrive. Jada will throw her hand up and she'll say, of course. She says, we will be here and expecting. And then they will walk off. Jada will look at you, Crom, and say, oh, this one hates doing this stuff. And she just kind of walks past you up the ramp.
I follow behind her with. I follow behind Jada with just my arms behind my back, acting all professional, standing up straight.
Right.
Do I see Crom walking like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You guys at this point, once she's left, everybody's kind of heading to the common area.
It's
I
so
just look at that, kind of
weird
give a
seeing
little
you do
chuckle to
that.
myself.
It is so weird seeing you do that. Are you having fun there, Crom?
I haven't done this in years. Oh, you think this is the first time I've done this? No, this is my 5th time?
Yep. So I would imagine that that's not the first time Zo's had to give an imperial salute. So
Probably not.
Yep.
So, all right. Is there anything anybody wanted to say, or shall we move on?
I would actually shoot off like the equivalent of an email
Okay.
to Mojo and inform him about Dash Darklighter and
Okay.
them doing a search for him.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of email, I don't know if you heard me because I can't remember if you gave me the affirmative, but I did inform everybody. I wanted to do the whole TLDR on the search on. I've already forgotten his name, the bounty hunter.
Oh, Zyrtec Loath. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
say anything about it, so this would be a
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So I got a little more on Zyrtec. Not much more than what we already put together, but uh, here's his contact information, Richard.
Oh.
That was good.
I'm just gonna look at it and go, "How'd you find this?"
The HoloNet.
I'm just gonna say, Lugal.
Luke.
I had to put Lucas. I had to put Lucas in it somehow. I mean, Lucasfilms, come on, give me this.
That was good. That was good, bud. That was good.
You're like, I wonder. Just looking at the pad, I'll hand it back and be like, "Lugal, right?"
Yeah.
Okay. As I go up and walk into the quarters, I sit down and I just start thinking.
Is this something thinking that we will talk about later, or did you want to talk about it now?
I can bring up the idea now because I think you're gonna absolutely love it.
It's up to you, man. It is up to you. I am merely the host that helps describe the world, and you guys help me bring it to life. So you tell me.
Potentially sending him a job to forget about hunting us. And asking him to name his price.
Roll knowledge streetwise.
I would ask if it was possible to help him with it, but this system doesn't have to help that.
Knowledge.
It doesn't. It's a kind of a weird thing.
Yeah,
So.
I'll just use the other one there.
Yeah, because this is like a 96 game, so things in 96 handled it a little bit differently.
Around 96, they were in. Oh God, was it even? Did
10.
3.5 even exist in 96?
I don't know. I'd have to look at it. You said 10?
10.
While he's thinking, 3.5 came out in 2000.
There you go.
So, oh dear.
Yeah.
So flat out
So
third edition.
Kind of an off the wall idea.
no, it's not an off the wall idea. This is very much a chrono idea. So with that check, two things are gonna pop up because it's halfway decent. One, you're not sure if you have enough credits to do so. Two, Black Sun. You know enough about the Black Sun to know that it would be really tough. And just shooting him essentially an email to say, hey, did you take this job and blah, blah, blah. He may not even bother taking the job that he's working since he's working for the Black Sun. Or, how would this go? Or it'd be something that he'd put on the back burner that he may or may not get to, basically.
All right.
So I mean,
So-
you can always try. You can always try, and it is a good idea. I'm not gonna lie.
On that same note, because I'm pretty sure this would have been on Zoe's mind, it's like, how hard would it be to fake some deaths?
It depends. If you had the right skill, and you could essentially do. Let me think. You can essentially make fake test certificates, and you could do something like that. It just depends on how.
Or
It depends on the idea of how you want to pull it off.
how about messing with cadavers as well? Maybe.
That may or may not
Not
result in the
not a
dark side
possibility.
point.
Good. Fair enough.
So
Yeah. You stopped me at dark side point.
yeah, I'm not saying it will, or I'm not saying it won't, but I'm not saying it won't.
I wonder what that could mean.
Right. All right.
Yeah, let's not mess with corpses then.
So,
Okay.
is there anything else on the table?
Nope, I sent my message.
Okay.
So, what do you think he's gonna do with that info?
What, Richard? He's gonna do what
Yeah.
he does.
Yeah,
He's gotta use it when he needs it.
fair enough. I was just wondering if he was gonna dox him or something.
No, I don't think Richard's going to dox him. As funny as that would be, Zoe,
Yeah,
this is
true.
this is a big bounty hunter. We don't
Yeah.
need the big bounty hunter acting like a Wookiee and charging us.
You'd have to find us first.
That
We'd-
really wouldn't be hard.
True, but it's a big universe.
It's a big universe, and we're easily tracked.
True. If good old DB-28 weren't so identifiable.
We'd have to, even if we got a whole new ship, they'd still find a way to track us.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that you're a big old Wookiee. I'm a purple armored Mandalorian. Richard is Richard. Adamox is Adamox. And
Honestly,
we've been broadcasted on on galactic dark web, right?
Nope. It was essentially well, actually, you don't know.
Oh, we don't know if it was being broadcast.
No, you don't know. The players would know, but Zoe wouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were
The-
on some sort of a show, so they saw us, right?
Yeah. So it was.
honestly,
Yeah, it was one of those things of being on the Death Planet. They may have been broadcasting it to like the dark hollow net or whatever, or it might have just been first come first show kind of thing. You don't
Kinda
Okay,
like a closed
so
net
can
circuit.
I change the
Right.
way I worded that then?
Sure.
It's like, for all we know, they may have been recording that. Actually, wait, didn't we find a camera?
I shot a camera.
You shot a camera, and though the characters do not know this, the
Oh no, I didn't shoot a
Lune.
camera. I
You
didn't
shot
shoot a
something.
camera.
I thought you did. It
No,
was like a probe droid.
I ripped that guy's arm off and showed it to the camera.
That's right. That's right.
So we
Lune.
knew we were
Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily. They could
Or
have
at
just been
least
using that.
watched.
Yeah, you're being watched for sure. You don't know that they're recording it, but
So yeah.
the players would know that Lune essentially had told his assistant to hand off visuals and audio recordings and things that to Zyrtec. The characters don't know that, but the players, if you watch the VOD on YouTube, I believe Lune said something like that.
Okay. So
And-
yeah, who
and
knows what
so-
they were doing? Yes.
To modify
Fine.
your, I'm a Wookiee. I can go to any planet. No one's gonna recognize a single Wookiee. I could blend into a cloud very easily. I could go to my home planet. No one would find me.
Well, I guess I'm a little different considering it's like put you next to another Wookiee. I could spot you out like that, but
Yes,
then it,
you could spot me, but any random Joe Schmo
Be
couldn't
just a
they'll
tell us
just
Wookiee.
see
apart.
they'll just see a Wookiee.
Exactly.
And on that note, if I ever wanted, I could just take this off. No one's seen my face, but still,
I haven't actually seen your face, so I can't say what I was gonna say.
no, you have, no, you haven't, old man. But you know what? Is anyone else here?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just you, Tim. Konzer, are you there?
Where are you guys?
I
I'm
think you guys are in the
assu-
common room still.
Yeah, we're in the common rooms.
So then if that's the case, then everybody's right there.
Yeah. Like, I
Except
know I
this
wouldn't be able to
guy.
pick them out of the crowd.
Who knows? Maybe I'll show you one day.
That sounds like a threat.
Does.
God,
Okay,
now I'm
fine.
just
I'll
imagining the Emperor's New Groove and Yzma's lifting up her dress. Like,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of when you said that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good times
God.
right there. Alrighty. So, fast forwarding to the shipment showing up and things of that. Now, refresh my brain. We know that Yumi is going to basically try to assume the identity of this Imperial officer. Okay.
Yes.
F5.
Was anybody wanting to add themselves to the roster to assist her? Because I don't think I got a confirmation.
I will assist her in that I will be in the area, acting like this, like the first maid, essentially, making sure everything is going smoothly, talking to her, making sure she's talking while Yumi is gathering all the information she needs.
I meant more specifically when you guys get to the Imperial base.
Oh,
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, Richard will go. That was the whole point of making Crom and
Yeah.
Jada.
Yeah, I
Zoe's
knew that.
definitely going for that one. It's like, okay, so yeah, Zoe's in on the Imperial base.
Okay.
Plan.
And then Konzo, were you doing the droid thing or something else?
Konzo will do the droid thing.
Okay. All right. So,
I want to know about this costume Jada was talking about.
that's something we'll have to talk about in a little bit, maybe. Okay. So, you guys will basically show up or be there. Everything will show up. The logistics droid and the junior lieutenant Meyer, she will be there, like they said, about an hour beforehand. They'll kind of go over the ship again. When the supplies and the technicians and droids show up, they'll take their time, go through, count, do what they need to, and everything else. Load the ship up, to which Jada will actually get into the pilot seat, Crom next to her. So she will actually be piloting. Which I gotta bust out her character sheet. She's got one of those. Now, Crom, would you like to attempt to assist her?
yes, I would like to attempt to assist her.
Alrighty then. So go ahead and give me a mechanical space transports.
All right. Mechanical space transports. What is that under? Because I don't think I have that.
Mechanical.
Oh, right. I'm dumb.
You're good.
It happens, man. We've all done it. I'm sure even Scotty's done it.
Oh, absolutely. I've done it many times on the show. You're only human.
Let's see.
At least she's consistent.
I'm guessing Jada rolled over a 15. You're not going to tell me I know.
No.
But a guy can guess.
You can guess all you want. I'm not gonna neither. I will neither confirm nor deny.
I rolled an 11, which
Okay.
it's the highest I've rolled tonight.
Nice. So, as the co-pilot, you're basically kind of helping her maintain uh stability and all the other kind of fun stuff, taking checks in and all that other kind of fun jazz. So yeah, you guys are able to kind of go through, do some piloting to get out of the Atmo. Once you're out of the Atmo, you more or less are going to be taking over while she's going to pilot or plot the astrogation. Since it's the moon and the hyperspace lane for that is constantly updated, it will not take her long. She can essentially just download it from the Holo net, and then poof, you guys are going to be in hyperspace. While in hyperspace, the droid, logistics droid, will basically kind of be walking around with Yumi and questioning things about the ship. Yumi will kind of give some answers and things that, but for the most part, the logistics droid is hanging around in the hangar bay along with the other droids. The technicians will be posted up in the guest quarters. And since it's like only about an 8-hour flight, you guys kind of can take shifts sleeping or whatever. Yumi obviously does not need to sleep. But she will also be taking quite a bit of time to speak with the junior lieutenant. She will be cracking jokes with her. She will kind of, it's kind of a weird side because she's around you guys has been very like, I will kill you. I will not stand for this. I will kill them. I will do this. She's been very aggressive. But as she's talking to her, you guys are going to kind of notice that there is definitely a way softer side. And she's able to actually get this younger woman to kind of open up almost to a friendship type level. So once the time comes, about 6 hours in and everything else, you guys will not see the junior lieutenant and you will not see Yumi. Okay. Jada will actually take the time to deactivate the droid around this time, the logistics droid. She will take it into her room, shut the door, and she's basically going to sit there and reprogram this thing. And about
Believe in hit. Sorry.
no,
No.
this is kind of cutscene swipes and things that about maybe an hour later, the droid is repurposed and reprogrammed. Yumi basically is going to go to Richard dressed as the Imperial woman, and you can tell the height difference and things that, and she won't use the woman's voice, but she will say that she is knocked out. I have bound her and I have put her into your crew quarters, she says. Not yours, but the crew's.
Yeah. All right. Good job.
She'll kind of nod her head and she'll say, just make sure she stays out. She may be out for a while. She says, Zagar was not very good with many force power. She says, I'm hoping he doesn't turn into a. I'm hoping he did not turn her into a vegetable, is what she says.
That could get problematic.
She just shrugs her shoulders and says,
Okay.
she just shrugs her shoulders and says, these kind of things happen.
Yeah.
That's the problem with using the force for that if you're not 100% sure. But
All right.
we did ask him to do it.
Yep. So we will jump over to map. Whee! So you guys are going to get ready, get dressed. So Jada will have also taken this time to slice into the Imperial documentation and basically kind of write a code that will, once it gets linked into the computer system, it will basically kind of do like a slight overwrite, which will basically update the roster. And she's confident that this is going to work. So she's added everyone that's going to go onto the base, and everything else that needs to be done and all that stuff. It took her about 30 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, give or take. What else was there? Was I missing something? The droid was taken care of. The documentation's been updated. Yumi is now the chick, and you guys are getting ready.
And the
Yep.
engine thing, whenever that happens.
Ah, that's right. She would have been working on that for a while. Okay.
Yep.
Jada will actually request that you pilot, Richard. She says because in case something goes catastrophically wrong, she wants to be back in the engine room.
All right, we can just say that I'm the pilot.
Okay.
I was hired as such.
That's right. Okay. So yeah, you guys are gonna basically kind of get into your positions. The warning, beeping, light, whatever, is gonna go let you know you need to pull out of hyperspace. You do so. When you do, it's almost that moment where you might want to crap your pants because when you pull out, poof, you see the moon. And oh man, does it look so tiny as this massive Star Destroyer is kind of flying just ever so over it. And you can kind of make out where the base is. The moment that you end up coming out, much like last time, you will be hailed.
All right. Do I have Crom with me?
Crom is in the pilot seat or co-pilot seat, yes. Think
I'm gonna
that
look at
through.
him. Yeah.
Gonna look at him. Do you really think they understand Wookiee?
They'll have
So-
a translator on. Protocol droids are a thing, sir.
I'll go ahead and answer it.
Okay.
Go, hello, this is Brad, pilot of the DP-28.
There'll be a guy that basically says, please send documentation, transponder code, and couldn't think of it there. The manifest. So, yep, that's basically what he's going to ask for. He's going to ask for those three things.
All right,
Gonna
let me
let
get
him-
the captain real quick. She'll know which ones to send. I'm kind of the new pilot.
You say as you're sending the info. So as a moment kind of goes by, they'll get the information and everything else. You will get scanned, and then you will get the okay, and then you will be told to head to docking bay or docking platform number 5. You should be what was it? Please check in with the security office for further instructions.
Okay,
All right, so
I will follow those instructions.
all right then. So you can give me a mechanical space transport check, and Crom, if you'd like to help him out, you can also make a check.
Yes, I would indeed like to do that.
22. Rolled nothing but 5s.
Nice.
I rolled a 9.
9. And I
9?
helped.
I helped.
I'm
I tried to
helping.
help.
That's right.
So tiny.
That's what she said. Wait, what?
Not literally. It's like our tokens are so small.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a moon base after all. Okay.
What token now I see is darkness.
Yeah, you need to scroll down.
All I see
No.
is darkness.
Yeah, her token
crap.
isn't here.
No. Did I not
Her
put your
token-
token there?
No, she did not. You did not put her token here.
Bullcrap.
I
I
only see
see-
5 tokens on here. Zoe, Adamox,
I was almost for sure that I had everybody. Son of a
Jada.
gun.
Richard, and Crom.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a moment. Oh, that's the wrong.
I'm sorry, Zagar as well.
What is on my token?
I don't know. What is on your token?
Oh, maybe
Oh.
it's just
Those are the blue and red bars.
Yeah,
okay.
that's your basically represents kind of like your health and stamina, more or less.
Oh, okay. I thought my token was freaking out for some reason.
Nope.
Never ask me to say it like that again.
Say what? Like what?
Yeah, that's what I
Exactly.
was thinking.
Sha-la-la-la-la-bamba. That's all I heard.
Whoa.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty then, Kanza, do you see anything?
Nope.
For the love of everything holy. Every time. Every time. It's always your token, too. What is wrong with this?
Does she have permission for the token?
There we go.
There we go. Okay. No, every time, even in Storm King, like her, for whatever reason, her token's always the one that freaks out. Even once I have everything done, I'm like, yeah, no, look, and yeah, her token's always the one that freaks out. Don't know why. Okay. So you guys will end up landing on platform number 5.
Body number
Combo
5.
number 5.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Should hopefully.
There's one there
Yeah.
and one there.
Yeah.
Well, at least we don't have to worry about number 4.
How the crap did that happen? Oh, I just did. Okay, whatever. I did put on. I just forgot to put you on the lighting settings.
Wow.
Wow. See, DMs make mistakes too, y'all.
I thought I was just seeing double.
You
Richard
probably
was
were.
really confused.
Alrighty then. Yeah,
Just
you
got drunk.
right. All right, so you guys are on the landing platform. They are going to begin to, kind of, they're going to start the unloading procedures and everything like that. Yumi is going to be putting on a relatively decent, what you feel is a decent performance. The logistics droid seems to not be weird. It seems to be going through, counting stuff, making sure, kind of designating and things of that as things get moved to the which platform is that? The rear ramp, where is usually for parts and things that. This time they're kind of taking all the stuff, the droids and everything else, and that's what's going to end up being there. So, Richard, what were you going to pose as? Were you going to pose as a technician, a janitor, what?
I think I'll go as, why not, a janitor.
Okay. So Richard walks out and he's in janitor clothes and everything else. The technicians don't really look at you kind of funny or anything like that. They just walk around and do what needs to be done and everything else. So, Zoe,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
So, oh dear. So I had multiple options given to me. I
Yeah.
mean, the lieutenant did try to recruit me. That, but I don't think that's an option I want to go for.
Yeah, there is a
At
time and
all.
a place for that. This is not the time nor the
Yeah.
place.
No, it isn't.
So's
So,
player remembered the meme.
har, 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 har. I gotta think about how she'd deal with this. She can't just walk out there in armor and all of that. That would not go well. Oh dear. So I guess she'd try to pull the janitor
Okay.
again.
All right, so 2 janitors and a droid. So
That's a very messy droid.
this droid is kind of a protocol style droid. Jada has tried to make it as comfortable for you as possible, despite many complaints. The biggest thing is is that the head looks similar to the logistics droid in the fact that, like, to compensate for the cones, she, instead of making it a rounded face, it's kind of round top, kind of like a half dome that kind of jets out to go around, and everything kind of pushes into to the front. So the best way to kind of describe this is just kind of think of a cartoon duck. Like, pick any of them, even like the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, if they're even Anaheim anymore. But kind of like that type of a shape that hides everything that needs to be hidden. When you speak, it kind of comes out robotic. And she even had gone above and beyond and had outfitted a couple of areas that you can fit your the blaster pistol, the bipolar one or whatever it is. You can basically put that in a basically hidden pouch. So it will take an entire round if you want to quick remove the armor for whatever reasoning.
Might I ask?
Yes,
Are you saying that she has some junk in her trunk?
she has some junk in the trunk.
Okay.
Okay. So, everybody.
Wants to be a cat? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Adam Ox will probably end up being a he'll probably do the janitor thing too, because he's unoriginal.
I mean,
What? He would say it himself. I've heard him say stuff like that. Okay. So yep. We'll go ahead and get your guys' token moved next to the door. And do you guys have access to these tokens, or did I screw that one up too?
I've
No,
got
this time I
access
actually
to
have
them.
access to it.
Okay. All right.
I
So
can
move
move.
to the door.
Yep. Adam Ox is where the door is. Well, excuse me.
So, sorry. Was I not meant to go there?
Hmm.
So these are these standard janitor like thick a thick one seat type deal with a hat and all of that?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Just kind of janitor garbs. I mean, it's going to be Imperial Obey Me gray. And, you know, he says, you're not going to go in with any mops or anything like that, but you're just going to look like a janitor, some kind of janitor.
Hats down, Zoe's wearing some form of makeup or something. I don't know.
Right. I think the
Are
stream
the
died on me.
shoes? Are the shoes? Don't mess with Vader Black.
Yes. They're Don't Mess with Vader Black. Okay. So, what the crap? Guys, double check the stream because it looks like has a little bit of issue here. Instead of disconnecting and reconnecting.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, the stream is taken down.
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
We were having problems with the stream. It just randomly shut down, so I don't know what's up with my PC. But for those of you that are watching on the YouTube lands, you get the sign off that we're gonna try again next week. So thanks for watching. Has anybody got anything that they want to say or add?
We are experiencing some technological differences.
That's right. So Yeah.
Uh,
It
All
is
I
what
can
it
say
is.
is things might get even messier next time because lots of janitors here.
Lots of
Lots of
Yeah.
janitors
janitors to
to
clean up the
clean.
mess.
That's right, to
I'm
clean up the
still on the
mess.
ship.
Yes. Yes. And then I was gonna have a little before we, because I was actually getting ready to quit for the night or whatever. You get ready to do the sign off and everything else, and I was gonna do like a little side swipe thing to introduce some things, but since Twitch decided to crap the bed on me, whatever. So
oh,
have a good one. Try to see you next week.
Later.
Have a
Later.
good night.
peace.